Hello, my name is Adriana Lewis. I am a 5th grade teacher here at Trotman Elementary, as well as a science teacher mentor on campus. Our night at the museum is our annual science night here at Trotman Elementary. During the month of October, students from grade levels kinder through 5th present and demonstrate their scientific investigations to their parents and their classmates. This school-wide activity promotes many opportunities for children. It promotes critical thinking skills. It helps children practice their public speaking skills. It also develops a feeling of self-confidence, and it cultivates a spirit of scientific inquiry. Our main goal here for all of our students is to foster a lifelong fascination with science. We hope you enjoy learning all about science. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Natalia. What things can light go through? Will light go through a piece of paper, a piece of tinfoil, a window, a plastic bottle, a book, my hand, a mirror? Hypothesis. I think light will go through the window, the plastic bottle, and my hands just a little, and will not let through paper, tinfoil, book, and mirror. Materials. Flashlight, plastic bottle, paper, book, tinfoil, window, mirror, my hand, dark room. Procedure. In a dark room, we will point the flashlight to the wall. Then we will put the object one by one between the flashlight and the wall and see if we can still see any light on the wall. Results. The light went through paper, window, plastic bottle. The light did not go through tinfoil, book, hand, mirror. Conclusion. Light can only go through transparent or very thin, and light materials like glass, plastic, or paper. Thick and dark materials will not let light go through them. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Priscilla Sociedad. Sugar too much or too little? Question. What drink has the most sugar? Hypothesis. I believe that the red juice has the most amount of sugar. Materials. Bottle of red juice, bottle of soda, bottle of yellow sports drink, scale, tablespoon, sugar. Procedure. Step 1, starting by turning on the scale. Step 2, using a spoon, start adding sugar to the scale until the amount of sugar adds up to the grams found on the drink's bottle. Step 3, once the sugar has been measured, place the sugar in a sandwich bag and close the bag. Be sure to unlabel the bag. Repeat the same steps for other 2 drink results. As we can see, after measuring, all 3 drinks have different amounts of sugar, but only one is the winner for having the most amount of sugar. Data. The Hawaiian Punch has 26 amount of sugar. That means right here it gets to 26 sugar. And the Pepsi has 69 sugar in this bag, and it weighs up to 69. And the Gatorade has 42 grams of sugar, and it goes right to 3 to 42 amount of sugar. Conclusion. In conclusion, after measuring, charging, and the amount of sugar in each drink of the soda is the winner. Thank you.
Good afternoon, classmates and family members. My name is Paulina Flores. The title of my project is Two-Faced Chocolate. The question I wanted to answer is, can a solid chocolate bar change its shape when the heat is added? My hypothesis was, if a solid chocolate bar is placed outdoors, then the solid chocolate bar will melt and change its shape because the heat from the sun will melt it. After completing all my experiments, I concluded that my hypothesis was correct. The chocolate bar placed outdoors turned into a liquid state of matter. The candy bar that stayed indoors in room temperature stayed as a solid form. This concludes my presentation. I would now like you to welcome my fellow classmates, Isaac Almanza, to come up and present.
Good afternoon, classmates and family members. My name is Isaac Almanza. The title of my project is Sounds of Rubber. The question I wanted to answer was, do rubber bands of different widths produce different sounds? My hypothesis was, if rubber bands of different widths are stretched the same length, then the sound they will make will be different because the width of the band will vibrate differently. After completing my experiment, I concluded that my answer was correct. Each rubber band has a different sound. The rubber band with a thicker width has the low sound, while the thinner rubber band has a higher pitch. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for me? This concludes my presentation. I would now like to welcome my fellow classmate, Mia Guzman, to come and present.
Good afternoon, classmates and family members. My name is Mia Guzman. The title of my project is Thumb Fun. The question I wanted answered was, why are thumbs important? My hypothesis was, if I taped my thumbs to my palm, then I will still be able to do many things because my fingers will adjust to not having my thumbs to rely on. After completing my experiment, I concluded that my hypothesis was correct. I was able to still do many things while my thumbs were taped down to my palms. However, it took more time and concentration to complete each task. I was able to button my shirt, write my name, I put my socks on, and even tied my shoe. The only thing I couldn't do without my thumbs was tie a knot on a balloon. Does the audience have any questions for me? This concludes my presentation. I would now like to welcome my fellow classmate, Triana San Miguel, to come up and present.
Good afternoon, classmates and family members. My name is Triana San Miguel. The title of my project was Walk the Line. The question I wanted answered was, which 3-meter path will get me from point A to point B the fastest? A straight line, a round and round path, or a zigzag path? My hypothesis was, if a 3-meter path is between 2 points, then a straight path would be the fastest because a zigzag path and a round and round path would require longer time and energy. After completing my experiment, I concluded that my hypothesis was correct. The straight line took me 3.67 seconds, the zigzag took 9.99 seconds, and the round and round path took 13.10 seconds. Even though the zigzag and the round and round path looked shorter, they took longer time to complete than the straight line. This is because more energy and constant change in movement caused my feet to walk slower. Does the audience have any questions for me? This concludes our Night at the Museum Science Experiment presentation. Thank you all for coming out.
Good evening, my name is Enrique Martinez. The title of my experiment is Batter Up. My question was, what kind of bat will make a baseball travel further? A bat made of wood or a bat made of metal? My hypothesis was that the wooden bat would make the ball travel further. In conclusion, when I conducted my experiment, I found out that the ball would travel further when I hit it with a metal bat. The data showed that my hypothesis was incorrect because the ball would travel further when it was hit with a metal bat. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Canales. The title of my experiment is Ice Melters. My question was, which type of salt melts ice the fastest? Table salt, kosher salt, sea salt, or rock salt? My hypothesis was, if different types of salt are placed on ice, then the rock salt will melt the ice the fastest. In conclusion, the hypothesis was correct because the rock salt was the salt that melted the ice the fastest. The other salts took much longer to melt the ice. Highlight is a mineral form of rock salt. It is found in mines around the world. The primary chemical in the rock salt is sodium chloride, which in contact with ice melts it at a higher speed than other types of salt. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dorothy Garcia. The title of my experiment is Observing Water and Soil in the Growth of Plants. My question was, what holds more water, sand, potting soil, or Laredo soil? How does this affect what kinds of plants can grow in each type of soil? My hypothesis was, if you pour water on sand, potting soil, or Laredo soil, then the sand will hold the most water and plants will grow faster in sand. In conclusion, potting soil holds and absorbs the most water compared to sand and Laredo soil. Water goes straight through sand and water takes a long time to go through Laredo soil. So when planting any type of plant, the best soil to use is the potting soil. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Brian Anthony Alaniz. The title of my experiment is Permanent or Not. That is a question. My question was, how permanent is a black Sharpie permanent marker? My hypothesis was, if permanent marker was used on a dry erase board, the toothpaste will remove it faster and better than any other substance. In conclusion, several substances were used to dry and remove a mark made by a black Sharpie marker. The substances were toothpaste, rubbing alcohol, nail polish remover, and vinegar. Through a 4-trial experiment, it was found that toothpaste removed the black Sharpie marker the best, but not the fastest.
Good morning. My name is Petrole Casa. The title of my experiment was The Highest Seed. My question was, does the depth that a seed is planted affect its ability to sprout? My hypothesis was, the seed is planted near the top of the soil, then it will sprout first because it is closer to the sun. In conclusion, therefore, my hypothesis was correct because the depth of a seed does affect its ability to sprout.
Good morning. My name is Isaiah Tracy. The title of my project is Ice Melting Salt. The question was, which type of salt melts ice the fastest? My hypothesis was that if kosher salt would be added to ice, then the ice would melt the fastest. The results proved my hypothesis wrong. Salt did not melt ice the fastest. It turned out that sea salt melted ice the fastest. The most interesting thing that I discovered was that sea salt actually prolonged melting time of the ice in warm water.
Hi, my name is Jacob Lopez, and the title of my project is The Intensity of Density. The question I wanted answered was, what happens to water, oil, corn syrup, and Dawn soap when poured into a glass container? My hypothesis: if all the liquids were mixed, then they would become a solution because of the consistency of the liquids. My hypothesis turned out to be incorrect. The final result to my science experiment was that the 4 liquids did not mix. The result indicated that each liquid had a different density, therefore making it impossible for them to mix. Instead, they layered one on top of another.
My name is Benina Lozano. The title of my project is Who Turned Off the Lights? The question I wanted answered was, which battery brand lasts longer? My hypothesis: if you buy batteries that cost more money, then they will last longer because the quality would be better. My hypothesis turned out to be incorrect. The final result to my science experiment was that you can find products that cost less than others and can still last longer.
Hi, my name is Carolina Hinojosa. The title of my project is What Happens When You Tap the Bottles? The question I wanted to answer was, how do different amounts of water affect the sound made by tapping the bottles? My hypothesis was that if I fill the bottles up with different amounts of water, then it will affect the sound
of the bottles because the water will vibrate when I tap them. My hypothesis turned out to be correct. The final result of my science experiment was that if I fill the bottles up with different amounts of water, it will affect the sound of the bottles.
My name is Alejandro Man. The title of my project is How to Make Water Glow. The question I wanted to answer is it possible to make water glow? My hypothesis, if you mix water with another material, then it will not glow because it does not have fluorescence. My hypothesis turned out to be incorrect. The final result of my science experiment was that fluorescents were found inside the tonic water.
Good evening, my name is Gerardo Villanueva. The title of my project is Melting Pop. My question was, does adding gelatin to a homemade popsicle speed up or slow down the melting point? My hypothesis was that if I add gelatin to a homemade popsicle, it will slow down the melting point. My materials are here shown below. I begin my procedure by pouring an orange-flavored drink in 2 of the popsicle molds. I boil 1 cup of water, stir in gelatin, and combine this with an orange-flavored drink. Popsicle sticks are then added and placed in the freezer for 12 hours. 1 popsicle from each set is removed and placed in a measuring cup at room temperature. I observe how much liquid is in each measuring cup at 15-minute intervals until all the popsicle has melted. I graph my results and repeat my experiment 3 times. My results indicate that the gelatin popsicle remains solid longer, therefore slowing down the melting point. In conclusion, my hypothesis was correct because the gelatin popsicle took a much longer time to melt. This is because gelatin is made from animal proteins such as connective tissue, bones, and skins.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ricardo Tiga. The title of my project is You Reflect What You Are. My question was, what special properties cause a mirror to reflect an image? My hypothesis was that anything with a smooth, shiny surface would cause a reflection. Although my experiment was different than my hypothesis, I still got to prove some of my thoughts to be correct, as well as I got to prove my hypothesis correct throughout my results. In the experiment, I used metallic silver spray paints to recreate the silvering process in which the deposition of real liquid silver and mercury is used to make mirrors. I tried to recreate the same process with metallic spray paints and did not result well. But I now know that a mirror works like a wall and a ball. If you throw a ball into a wall, it will bounce back to you. The ball is a light ray, the wall is a mirror, and your hands are your eyes. With this concept in my brain, I was able to understand reflection, refraction, and light, and as well as I know how a mirror works.
Good evening. My name is Gabi Gonzales. The title of my project is Solubility Possibility. My question was, how well water dissolves salt or sugar compared to other liquids such as oil, corn syrup, or vinegar. My hypothesis was, if I place each of the items in the water, and all of them will dissolve with the exception of oil because it does not mix with water. In conclusion, my hypothesis turned out to be correct. Water and oil are immiscible. Water is a polar molecule, which means it has a positive and a negative charge. Oil does not have a positive or negative charge. Oil is not soluble in water. And this is my project on solubility in water.
Good evening, my name is Dorothy Garcia. The title of my project was From the Cabinet to the Ground. My question was, which material will decompose fastest in topsoil? My hypothesis was, if different materials take different times to decompose, the sheet of paper will decompose fastest in topsoil, and the foam cup will take the longest. My conclusion was that different weather conditions can add weight and cause the measurements to be inconclusive. My hypothesis was incorrect. The magazine sheet shrunk in size and lost its color. The chip bag was the slowest to decompose. It only shrank a little bit and didn't really lose any weight.
Good evening. My name is Victor Gutierrez. The title of my project is Electromagnets. My question was, does the number of times a wire is wrapped around a nail affect an electromagnet? My hypothesis was that if a wire is wrapped around the nail several times, it will be stronger than a wire that's wrapped around a nail halfway, because the wire that's wrapped around completely would transfer more electric energy to the nail. In conclusion, my hypothesis was correct because the wire wrapped around completely picked up 11 paper clips versus the wire that was wrapped around the nail only halfway only picked up 4 paper clips. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Ray Riastrigo. The title of my project is hydropower. Did you know that 70% of the earth is covered in water? So if there is so much water, why not harness that energy since water is a renewable resource? My question was, can the power of falling water convert kinetic energy into mechanical energy to lift a small boat? My hypothesis was, if the energy of falling water can convert kinetic energy into mechanical energy, then large amounts of fast falling water are needed. In conclusion, my hypothesis was correct, since large amounts of fast falling water are needed to spin the turbine, which causes it to lift up the boat.
Good evening, my name is Samantha Flores. The title of my experiment was warm and cozy. What I wanted to figure it out was that which container will hold heat better. My hypothesis was that if I pour boiling water into a plastic container, then I'll prove that the plastic is the best heat insulator. In conclusion, I learned that the styrofoam material holds heat better, and therefore my hypothesis was incorrect. And now we know that next time when I wanted to keep something warm, I'll use a styrofoam container instead of a plastic. And that concludes my project.
Good evening, my name is Ruby Vela. The title of my project was Survival of the Plants. The question that I wanted to find out was, which solution will help the plant grow faster? A Miracle-Gro solution, a Bayer Advanced solution, salt, sugar, water solution, or just plain water? My hypothesis was, if Miracle-Gro is added to a plant, then it will grow the fastest because Miracle-Gro provides the plant with nutrients to thrive. My results were, Miracle-Gro grew 23 7/10 of a centimeter, Bayer Advanced grew 22 5/10 of a centimeter, salt, sugar, and water just died after the 3rd day, and water grew 19 8/10 of a centimeter. In conclusion, my hypothesis was correct. Miracle-Gro was the solution that helped the plant grow the fastest. Miracle-Gro helped the plant grow the fastest because it provides it with nutrients to thrive.